Welcome to this week's episode of Confessions of a Fitness Professional. I am Andra Anderson, your host, celebrating 15 years in the fitness profession. And for funsies, I shared that with a group of high school seniors today, and one had the audacity to say I was 3. So cool. I'm glad that you were 3 years old when I started this fitness career. Great, excellent. As you can see, I am not in my studio today if you're watching this on YouTube. If not, why not? Go check it out on YouTube. Although I understand there are definitely podcasts that I prefer to listen to versus watch. Listening is just easier because I'm in the car. It just makes a lot of sense. Do not watch this in the car. That's my PSA for the day. So forgive me if I get a little distracted by things or people passing by, but you know what? It's all part of it. For today, our confession of this week, of this episode, is I'm calling it the most humbling thing about getting into the fitness profession. The most humbling. Now, I know that's a pretty big and bold statement to say something is the most humbling, but hear me out. This is where I'm going with this. This is something that is a weird and delicate balance and a delicate structure, and I see it handled well and handled poorly by lots of different group fitness professionals, myself included. I've handled it really well and really poorly. So here it is. The most humbling thing about getting into the fitness profession is that it is not about you. It's not about you. Group fitness is not a show. You're not on stage. All eyes are on you, but it's not about you. The best group fitness professionals are the ones who fully understand that the reason for being there is to make people feel good and successful, regardless of their level of fitness. So I don't want to say the best instructors, but those who are, I think, truthfully, the most successful in the long run are those group fitness professionals who make their clients feel successful. It is all about that. Because what keeps your fitness clients returning, coming back, is this feeling of belonging, a feeling of I can do it regardless of how they showed up to that class that day, regardless of their level of fitness. And the most important thing that we can do as a group fitness professional is help every single person feel like they absolutely do belong there, that this is a place for them to be, this is a place for them to exist, this is a safe and friendly environment for them to feel good but challenged, to feel like they're a part of something, to feel successful, to feel like they're crafting this story and being the absolute best versions of themselves. That's what we're there for. Now, it's confusing and it's a delicate balance because as the fitness instructor, and there are even fitness studios, there are gyms I've taught in places like this that will literally have a stage for you to stand on. And you are the only one on this platform, the only one on this stage. And everybody faces to look at you. Everybody faces in your direction. So I could see how it's a really confusing thing as a fitness professional, that it is absolutely not all about you, that you are not on stage, that it has actually nothing to do with you. And the even more confusing part of this whole element, that dude was just all over. Did you see him? He was all over the place. He was super distracted. I'm like, I am trying to film, and absolutely you cannot be on this public sidewalk. I love that. Anyway, it's my fault for doing it in the public, but it's this beautiful day. I have my iced honey vanilla latte from Evergreen. It is my Tuesday thing. This is what I do on Tuesdays. So I'm just bringing you in to my Tuesday afternoon, and I feel like I have other people coming. So okay, so it's a delicate balance. One, because all eyes are on you, and there goes the clock tower. Do you hear that? I wonder if you can hear this as well as I can hear this. We'll find out when I see this later. In order to be successful, in order to draw people in, you have to put yourself out there. And I think Instagram and Facebook, as wonderful as they are, and I generate a lot of my business from social media, so I am absolutely not knocking it. I would not exist, especially would not have followers through platforms like this, through all of COVID, if I didn't have a presence on social media. So I'm absolutely not knocking it. But where social media has done us a disservice is in group fitness professionals and trainers believing that they have to have a certain aesthetic or a certain physique in order to operate and be successful. Because the videos that go viral, the videos that get noticed, the people that get noticed are the ones that have a ton of followers. And usually when you have a ton of followers, you're looking a certain way, you're appearing a certain way, your outfit is looking a certain way, when really fitness can happen in any location. Fitness can happen no matter what you are wearing. Fitness happens all the time. So it's a weird and delicate balance because you're not on stage and it is absolutely not about you, but you have to put yourself out there in order to get people to come and see what you have to offer. Now, I have met fitness professionals and group fitness people who don't like to put their face on social media, and they don't like to film themselves leading workouts or doing demonstrations, and they're so successful in their own ways. But in order to break into non-local areas is reaching as many people as possible through those various social platforms. Like, for example, during COVID, I don't think I would have continued to be successful. I have a great in-person community and it's very localized, but my reach expanded so much during COVID because I had all of these virtual classes, I had all these virtual videos and demonstrations. I was able to host workshops and classes for groups that don't exist near me because I figured out how to get on those platforms. I figured out how to get music going. I figured out how to get the video streaming, all of those different things. And that really led to the most successful year I've ever had as a fitness professional. And that's even more of a struggle because for the most part, when I taught fitness virtually, people didn't keep their cameras on. So I was literally watching myself on the camera, on the computer screen, teaching a class. How on earth are you expected to believe that has nothing to do with you, that it is not about you, when you are seeing yourself doing the thing? It is so dang confusing, and it ends up being so dang humbling when you realize that it's not about you. So it's this weird, and if you're an instructor or if you have a job like that where you are very forward facing, it's about you getting out there and encouraging people. I think this would be true of like sales, for example. Even though you're the one that has to go out there and do the selling and you're the one that is promoting the product and you have to build the relationships and you have to make the connections and you have to do the follow-up, it is actually not about you at all. It's not about you at all. It's about the product or the service. Same thing with group fitness. It's not about you. It's about the way you make people feel and the way that you encourage them and have them continue to come back. So it's strange. It's like, I remember one of the first fitness conferences I went to, and of course at a conference, you'd go to these workshops and the people leading the workshops are truthfully just like you. Even if you're just starting out, they just have a few years on you. But they're on a stage and it's like, look at me, I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to share it with you. I really enjoy going to those conferences and learning, but the thing that I don't like about it is that oftentimes the people in the audience have better or more knowledge than people on the stage. The difference is the people on the stage are better at promoting themselves. They're better at saying, of all of us, we have this shared knowledge, but I'm the loudest about it. I'm the one that stands up and says, you know, this is something that we're all thinking and I'm going to share it. So it's like, in order to gain respect or notoriety, you have to be the one that is willing to put yourself out there, and there has to be a little bit of ego related to it. I struggle with this myself in fitness because I'm at the point in my fitness career where I really should and could be mentoring new fitness professionals and new wellness providers. And I think that's one of my next steps. I think I want to get kind of into that world, but it's a difficult thing to consider because I don't want it to be about me and look at all this knowledge that I have and let me share it with you. But I guess if you think about it in the grander scheme of, I can help other people establish themselves and grow and be successful, and then share that with others and really just sort of multiply what's available for the greater good and the greater fitness participant, that's actually kind of cool. And I think that that's the element that I would enjoy probably the most about it. But the reality, of course, is in order to be successful at that, you have to be really good at marketing yourself. And having this star power. So I remember one of the first trainings that I went to, the master trainer, which is what they were called, and her name was Coco, which I thought was so fun. Her big thing was, in order to grow, in order to be successful, you need to know your material front and back, right? You need to know what you're selling. You need to know the personality or persona of the person that you're trying to sell to. Like, those are the two biggest components of getting into fitness, getting into sales, any of those things. But the other thing that she said was, you need to work on your star power. Now, the idea behind that is it's being able to successfully draw people in, to keep this magnetism. And star power helps you kind of vibrate a little higher, and it makes people want to be in your realm, be in your sphere, say, hey, what's this person doing over here? And I need to kind of be a part of that. So her tips for finding that star power were simple things like, make sure you feel good, right? Make sure when you get up there in front of your class participants that you show up at your best form, you are hydrating enough, you are eating nutritiously, you're doing things to prevent you from being sluggish. I did later have a master trainer that encouraged us to show up with a full face of makeup, and I know that there are some things about that. I still do that to this day. It's not about putting on makeup, it's more about showing up as your best self. And for me, I feel like my best self and like I'm able to contribute the best when I'm hydrated, when I've had my pre-class perk or a little latte, and when I have shiny lip gloss on. For whatever reason, that shiny lip gloss makes me feel invincible, and I'm able to perform my best when I feel like I look my best. So I kind of get where she was coming from, that statement of, make sure you are showing up your best. And for some people that might be wearing makeup. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. When you feel your best, you are better able to communicate, you're better able to connect because you're not fighting insecurity of yourself. You're able to then focus kind of outward. But other things with having a star quality, and this is something that I didn't learn until much later, like within the last couple of years later, it's important that you do things to make yourself happy. Now, when I was first starting, I thought I had to say yes to every single class opportunity, and I had to teach all of the things. I was trying to teach 2, 3, sometimes even 4 times a day. I was trying to teach every single day. And part of that also was what I was being paid just was not a livable wage. So I had to teach multiple classes in order to make something that was worth making. That's not the case anymore, which I'm so glad I've stood up for myself, and I feel like I'm finally earning what is correct for me for those classes, which is amazing. But in order for you to provide that service for other people and have this star power and keep those high vibrations, you have to say no to things that drain you, and you have to do things that make you feel happy. So for me, over time, something that made me feel better was to have one class a day. So I could really focus all of my energy into that one class. And as a result, my classes have gotten better and stronger. I've become a better instructor. I'm able to focus on that group that day. I'm able to remember things about the participants. I don't have so many classes with so many different participants that I can't remember people's names, because that is the actual worst, right? If there's nothing else that you do or nothing else that you take away from this, try to learn people's names and try to say their name during class. Try to hype them up during class. One of my favorite things to do, and I try not to do this if I have a lot of new people, but to remind myself that it is absolutely not about me, I move around the class. I will go and really, since we've distanced ourselves from COVID, I've done this even more. I didn't at first when we first started getting back in person, because I thought it was a weird thing, but now I feel comfortable to do it again. I will move around the room during class. That way you don't feel like you're up on stage. That way you remember that it is absolutely not about you. It's about the feeling of every other person in that class. I mean, it's a little bit about you too, right? If it's not fun for you, please stop doing it. Let other people do it. It's fun for me. I enjoy it. And I like to go up and have a moment or a couple of moments with all of my participants. So for example, I know that there are certain songs and lyrics that hype my participants, my clients up. So when that song comes on and that part that really gets them hyped comes on, I'll go to them and we'll look each other in the eye and we'll say it together. Or if somebody is really showing great form, I'll be like, look at this amazing form, way to go. Or if somebody's getting really low, or somebody's really hyping up or really getting into the movements, I'll be like, yeah, go for it. If somebody, I know the participants and the clients that need a little extra oomph toward the middle end of the class, where the hype is still up and the power is still up, but the energy is starting to go, I'll go put myself in their line of vision and we'll do the hard things together. On the other side, I have some participants, so I have a class that has burpees to a beat. And I have some participants, some clients who just don't want to do a burpee, and you don't have to. So I will go and connect with them and do the moves that they want to do and make them feel successful and special. What you're doing is correct. What everyone else is doing is what they're doing. What you're doing is correct. And I think that has really helped to make my classes feel better, stronger, and more special, really more special. So all of this to say that even though you are on the spotlight, and even though there are videos and people and individuals on social media like TikTok and Instagram who will say things like your physique and your body is your business card, or you have to look a certain way, or don't you want to have a matching set to teach? I mean, yeah, those things look cool, but if you show up to class and your hair is all done and your makeup is all done and you're wearing a matching set, but you forgot to rehearse your choreo, or you don't say hello to the people coming to your class, will you be successful? I mean, maybe if you're a celebrity, sure, but if you are trying to make a go at being a group fitness professional and creating a community, you won't be successful. You won't. You're too disconnected from the people that are coming to your class. So a reminder, you are not the star of group fitness. Your client, your clients, your beautiful community, they're the stars. You're there to hype them up. You're their coach. But at the same time, again, that delicate balance, you need to feel good about what you're doing too. So if you are showing up inauthentically and not getting into it and not feeling it, then that's going to show in your presence and ultimately in your class. People are just going to stop coming and not getting excited about what you're offering. So again, it's a delicate balance, but my recommendation is to remember to keep the clients first. Make sure you make them feel really special and successful, and you will be successful as a group fitness professional. That is our confession for this week. As always, like and subscribe, send me questions and comments, and let me know what other kinds of topics you want us to cover in our different confessions of group fitness professionals. And thank you for enduring the outside noises. When I went to start doing this, it was perfectly quiet. And then all of a sudden, like everybody and their brother had to come get their coffee. I mean, literally, I've seen more people today than I've seen in like 2 months. I guess that's what the nice weather does to you. Thank you for enduring that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.